Hey Rams, what's going on? This is Mr. Garrow and quick how-to tutorial about Google Meets and student expectations. As you can see, I've got a Google Meet open right now. Hopefully, during the school year, when we have this Google Meet going, instead of just one person being in the meeting over here on the side, it will be 30, 32 of you, right, with students. So I'm going to try and go quick here. Most of you have used Google Meet, but I want to just refresh your memory. Okay. A couple things. First of all, uh, unless you're the teacher, mute your microphone. Okay. Down here in the bottom, there's a little microphone button. You just click that and you mute your mic. Okay. By muting your microphone, will eliminate a lot of that feedback. That's the first thing. You really got to mute your microphone. The only time you should unmute your microphone is if your teacher, myself or Miss Alvord, calls on you, right? And we're like, hey, Tom, answer this question. Then you can unmute yourself and you can answer it. Okay. This button here is the camera button. This will turn off your camera and make your screen basically black where it just displays your name. I don't know that, everybody has different situations at home, guys. I totally get that. I would very much prefer that you had your camera on during our Google Meets. Okay. It's nice to be able to see your face and be able to put a face with a name. It's nice to be able to have a little bit of contact and get to know you guys a little bit more. But there's all kinds of things going on in people's homes, and your situations are all different. And so I'm not going to hammer you just because you don't have your camera on, but I would prefer that you did, so that we could have some interactions with each other that way. Okay. Third thing I want to point out over here on the side is the chat feature. We will use the chat feature throughout our classroom Google Meets. Sometimes myself or Miss Alvord will pose questions there, or surveys, or share links, or information that you need. And it's a way for you guys to communicate as well. So the chat feature will be used in our Google Meets. One thing I would remind you of, and you're going to get this in all your classes, but the Google Meet is a classroom, guys. And so you have to be classroom appropriate. You got to make sure that the clothing you're wearing on the camera is classroom appropriate, that the way you're acting on the camera is classroom appropriate, that the information that you're sharing in the chat, or the actions that you're taking, the words you're saying, all of that stuff is classroom appropriate. So you got to take it like it's a room. And a big part of that is just going to be, getting yourself in a quiet location in your house, if possible, where you can avoid distractions and be comfortable and participate in what we're doing that day in our classroom Google Meet. Okay. There's not a whole lot more to it right now. We're going to get to know one another. We're going to have some little activities, but those are the basic things I wanted to talk about during a Google Meet. Leave your microphone off unless a teacher calls on you. Try to leave your camera on if at all possible. Utilize the chat feature, and remember that it's a classroom and we need to act appropriately. Okay. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, people sometimes ask, where am I going to find the links to our Google Meet? They will always be in your Canvas calendar, okay? And they will always be posted on our classroom announcements on Canvas as well. So you will have the links to our Google Meets on your calendar and in our Canvas announcements. You're going to be able to just click them, and we'll see you guys for class on Wednesdays and Thursdays online. Looking forward to seeing you all. I know Miss Alvord's looking forward to seeing you. And as always, go Rams.